Hello and welcome to a Landlord Victory Training quick seminar. My name is Jeff Wright and I'd like to show you something amazing. This will take a lot of stress out of your life and increase your building's profits. It's a slight twist on something that you're already doing as a landlord. This technique costs you nothing and it takes almost no time at all. It will make a huge difference in your entire relationship with your tenants. Everything we do at Landlord Victory Training is based on two key principles. First, managing happy tenants is easier than fighting bad ones. And second, great policies and procedures dramatically increase your profits and reduce your stress. See, when you have great policies and procedures in place, you don't manage by the seat of your pants. You're not constantly jumping from one crisis to the next, and no matter what the situation is, you know exactly how to handle it correctly. You've already thought it through. Most landlords have a lot of tenant horror stories. You know, the ones about the tenant who did this or that. And we have an entire website devoted to just these horror stories. You can check it out at tenanthorrorstories.com. Some of these stories will curl your hair. They're incredible. And we would love to hear the worst of your tenant horror stories. Unfortunately, what they add to your storytelling ability is subtracted from your bottom line. Almost every time these stories could start with, I had the wrong tenant in my place and I didn't manage this situation as well as I had wished. Landlord Victory Training exists to help you avoid these very problems. You don't want any more tenant horror stories. It is possible to increase your profits while you decrease the number of stories you have to tell. You can do it by following the proven techniques, policies, and procedures that we can show you. Today, I'd like to show you just one of the hundreds of techniques. If you prefer, you can learn the hard way. You can just click off the video right now. Or if you're smart, you'll learn the techniques that multi-millionaire landlords do to increase their profits. So let's get started. It starts with doing a better job of advertising your empty units. When you have a bigger pool of potential tenants, and you use the right screening processes, you end up with better tenants. Better tenants cause fewer problems. Today, I'd like to show you a technique that you really should be using today. This is just one of the hundreds of techniques that multi-millionaire landlords use and that you should be using too. Your relationship with your tenant starts with the very first phone call. We show you how to increase the number of applicants, improve your screening process, and how to start the relationship off correctly. When you do these things, you'll have fewer headaches, fewer vacancies, longer-term tenants, better tenants, and more profits with less stress. Okay, here's the strategy. Do a walkthrough of the apartment with your tenant. Well, of course, you already do that. But here's the twist that will save you headaches in the future and a lot of money. Don't just wander through the apartment with your new tenant. Show them that you're on top of your game. Do a video walkthrough with the tenant present. Moving into a new apartment is a big deal for your tenants. Help them to be excited. Start the relationship off correctly. Tell them that the video is for their protection and that you care about their success. Just use your smartphone to capture the movie. It doesn't have to be a Hollywood presentation. You can get a whole lot more fancy with the equipment if you want, but you really don't need to. The smartphone in your pocket will do a great job. Hold the camera as the tenant opens every drawer and every cabinet, turns on every faucet, flushes every toilet, looks into the refrigerator and the stove to make sure that they're looking great. They also can prove to themselves that there are no stains on the carpet and no holes in the walls. Help them to be excited about their place. It just takes a couple of minutes. offer to give them a copy of the video. We show you how to do that at little or no cost. Bring the video or a link to it back in a couple of days along with a welcome packet. This packet is easy to put together. It's just a few pages really in a paper folder. This packet is easy to put together. Just a few pages really in a folder. It has emergency numbers, the best pizza place in the area, a copy of the lease, and of course a link to the location of the video. Tell them it's for their protection to keep all of their papers together in this folder. Most tenants are pretty unorganized, and many of them will appreciate having this folder to keep everything in one place. It's a smart idea to also bring a small welcome gift. Remember, you want to start the relationship off correctly because managing happy tenants is easier than fighting the bad ones. This few minutes does much more than you might suspect. First, tenants don't trash apartments if they feel warmly toward the landlord. The tenant knows that you can prove the exact condition of the apartment when they moved in, so when they move out, there won't be any more of this, well, the carpet was stained, there was a hole in the wall when we moved in. When your tenant moves out, they know there will be no dispute about the condition of things. Beyond that, you're communicating that you're friendly and that you're on the top of your game. They know you care about the condition of your apartment. That will help them to also care about it because they want to get their deposit back. This is just one of the many techniques that we show you. There's a lot more to tell you, so be sure that you get our newsletter. We show people how to create their own policy and procedure manual that will increase profits as it decreases headaches. Now, we would like to offer you a free evaluation of your landlording style to see if we can be of any assistance. Okay, here's some homework. Be sure you check out the tenanthorrorstories.com website. Take a look at the video walkthrough form and instructions, and of course, be sure you request a free evaluation. Your profits and your cash flow will never look better than they will if you apply the principles that multimillionaire landlords use to increase their profits. It really is true that managing happy tenants is easier than fighting bad ones. Hopefully, with a better strategy, you will have a lot fewer tenant horror stories and a lot more cash in the future. Get the form and the instructions now. Thanks.